In today's session, we're going to look into the capability of connecting WebFOCUS reporting server with external tools. So you're not going to use WebFOCUS as a front end, but we're going to use tools like Excel or Power BI to connect to the same system. So I've got my WebFOCUS server running. So here's my environment, and next step is gonna connect to that server running within a virtual instance in here. So step one is we have to install the WebFOCUS ODBC client. So the only thing you need is the regular WebFOCUS reporting server installation for Windows. And there's a setup tool that we can run. So let's run that one. We're gonna go for English. So let's start the installer. Installation itself is straightforward. So the only thing we actually need in here is the installer. So yep, I want to install, agree. Of course, we're going to read the license agreement. And let's select where we're going to put it. So I'm going to put it on my C drive. That's what I'm going to use as the name. Select next. So you can see, of course, I could change the folders, but I'm going to go with those defaults. Select continue. And actually, that's all we had to do. So that's a quite straightforward installer. So it's finished. There we go. It's opening up the client menu. So that's the start menu. So there's a bunch of diagnostic tools to check if there's any issue. There's a configure functionality that allows me to remove configuration or re-register it, but that's just debugging and configuration purposes. So to work with it, the only thing we need to do is now we can go to the UDBC connections of my machine. And in here, we got a bunch of configurations. So I already configured it in the past, so let's remove it quickly. So let's go for it. So we're going to add it now. So in that list, we're now going to see the WebFOCUS ODBC driver client. Finish it. So now it wants to know what it is. So that's my WebFOCUS 911 ODBC. I can add a description. I can add the address of my server. So let's go to my WebFOCUS machine. So that's my WebFOCUS machine. So let's quickly go and get the IP. So that's the IP of my WebFOCUS system. So I just need anything, TCP, IP. So I'm going to go for the IP address, which is the address of the WebFOCUS reporting server, which in my case is 8120. I can populate a user here for my test. So I'm going to use my WebFOCUS reporting server administrator, which is WebFOCUS. And I can hit test in here to see if it's working, and it does. There's some advanced configuration here for services, schema. So quite straightforward. Nothing I want to do now. So hit OK. Now it's configured in here. We can close that one. And now we can use it from any tool that supports ODBC. So I got Excel. I'm going to go for, actually already in a new file. So we're going to go for data, get data. In here, we could use from our data sources, and we're going to go for ODBC. So opening up ODBC. So we're going to go for the WebFOCUS 911 ODBC. Select that one. Of course, we can go to advanced option, issue a SQL statement in here, change a few settings in here, but nothing we really need. So I'm going to go for OK. Again, we can use a login. So of course, it's supporting security of WebFOCUS reporting server. So whatever security you have, security on data, on master files, on capability in general, that's something you can add in here. So let's connect. It's reaching out to the WebFOCUS server. I can see all the available master files on that system. So I can navigate through those elements that are exposed to myself. So whoever is a long-time WebFOCUS user knows the car file, which is a focus database, which is very specific to WebFOCUS and not openly accessible from Excel directly or from any other tool. I'm going to save with that one, and I can now load data from car. And now car is part of Excel, and I can work on Excel and use the regular Excel capabilities to work on top of car. Same is true for other tools. For example, I can go for Power BI in here, select get data from another data source, and use the Power BI capability to get to data. So again, in here, we can go to other, we can go to something like the ODBC connection in here. If you don't want to search too long, just search for it in here, and you can connect with that one. So again, we're gonna go for the WebFOCUS 911 ODBC thing. Select OK. Again, same thing here. It wants to get a username. Select that one. And we're going to connect to the same thing. In here, that connector is a little bit more advanced in Power BI, so it's getting more information. So I can now go to things like the application folders. I can go to EBSUMP, select my car database again, and use car in Excel. Sorry, no, of course, in Power BI. So applying that query, so it's Power BI is using the connector, going to the WebFOCUS reporting server, pulling data from WebFOCUS, from the Focus file, and I can now start to add some content. So I can use the regular views in here, go to the data view, see all the data, can go to the report view, add a few reports. So let me add a first chart to it. So I can now go to the list. So there's a list of fields from car. And I can now start to add fields. So we're going to use for sales. And we can select sales here, add sales to my report. So we're going to get country, add car. So we're building our own little report in here. So let's add a new one, or change the format actually to that one. So I'm changing it to a pie chart because I personally like pie charts, or let's go back to the bar chart. So straightforward to build things. So I can use all the regular capabilities. So we're going to add a new visual. So that visual we're now going to turn into a pie chart, because in here we're going to go for the body type, and we're going to go for, let's go for the body type, and let's go for sales. So, okay, not too impressive. So let's change it from body type, gets rid of that one, change body type to model. Straightforward way to build reports using Power BI capabilities and using data that is only accessible for WebFOCUS through a Power BI interface. So easy and straightforward way to work with connections into WebFOCUS, using different type of front-end capabilities to work with data that is hosted by WebFOCUS. Okay, thank you for watching.